In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie in the morning while I'm driving. Ronnie, I really come alive when it's time for Ronnie. I listen to my Ronnie. Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for Ronnie Q. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie.
Good morning. It may be afternoon for some of you. Thank you guys for joining me today. Last night was fabulous, fabulous, all across the board. We had Proposition 50, which will allow for California to redraw their maps in response to Texas redrawing their maps. Understand every action can cause a reaction, and that is what is going on, and that won so handily in California that as soon as the polls closed, they were able to announce that win. We have a whole blue wave. You see Zoran Mandami, when he was giving his speech, he was just shrouded. His mic was shrouded in blue, a whole blue wave. We have the Virginia, what was it? The Virginia governor. What's her name? Which one is Mikey? New. What is that? What am I trying to say? The Virginia governor, the New Jersey governor, I believe, they swept. Now, the New Jersey Mikey, I forget her last name. They actually doxed her and gave all of her information to her component and all of her military records, all of her social security numbers, all of that, trying to beat her. The person Shittorelli, he has ran for governor 3 times, and he has never beat her. So we have all of that going on. We also had J.D. Vance's brother, who J.D. Vance, the vice president, J.D. Vance, he endorsed his brother. He was running for mayor of, I believe it was Cincinnati, Ohio, somewhere in buttfuck, Ohio. He lost handily. Who else do we have? Oh, we have I believe it's the Attorney General that they were trying to get to uh, exit the race because what he had said about putting two in his competitor several years ago, and he won his race. Jay Jones or Jay Johnson. We had a whole blue streak. Uh, so I can't remember all of their names. So I hope you guys. I hope you guys were watching the elections and the election coverage. So let's get into a little bit of this since I'm fucking over their names. And also, Indiana tried to redistrict Indiana, but it didn't work out so well for them because they couldn't do it because they were not sure that they actually would have the votes to do it. So, who has done it? Uh, Texas started. Missouri is also going to do it. California put it on the ballot, so they will be doing it. Um, Now Pritzker in Chicago, he hasn't said he's going to do it. I hope he does it as well. Now we have Westmore of Maryland. He said that he's going to get with a redistricting committee to see if they are going to redistrict the seats in Maryland as well. And now the Republicans are saying that they are cheating. They never said that when Texas did it. See, Texas was what got the ball rolling, but now all of a sudden they're crying about cheating. How so? So let me get into some content. Thank you guys for being here. Please hit the like button. Please share and subscribe. Let's get into this. Hey, them slick. Thank you for coming over. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming over without being prompted or anything. I appreciate you being a supporter. I really appreciate that. Okay, uh, let's get into this. Hope is alive. Let's see a little bit. If you missed this speech last night, it was a review. Okay, let me share this with you. I had to get through the uh, salutations. I'm always in your clouds and I always appreciate your support. It's rare these days. Trust. Okay, hope is alive, but I'm gonna keep doing what I do.
Burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. See the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty. I wish Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life. But let tonight be the final time I utter his name as we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few. New York, tonight you have delivered a mandate for change, a mandate for a new kind of politics, a mandate for a city we can afford, and a mandate for a government that delivers exactly that. On January 1st, I will be sworn in as the mayor of New York City. And that is because of you. So before I say anything else, I must say this. Thank you. Thank you to the next generation of New Yorkers who refused to accept that the promise of a better future was a relic of the past. You showed that when politics speaks to you without condescension, we can usher in a new era of leadership. We will fight for you because we are you. Or as we say on Steinway, ana minkum wa ilikum. Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties. To every New Yorker in Kensington and Midwood and Hunts Point, know this. This city is your city, and this democracy is yours too. This campaign is about people like Wesley, an 1199 organizer I met outside of Elmhurst Hospital on Thursday night. A New Yorker who lives elsewhere, who commutes 2 hours each way from Pennsylvania because rent is too expensive in this city. It's about people like the woman I met on the BX 33 years ago, who said to me, I used to love New York, but now it's just where I live. And it's about people like Richard, the taxi driver I went on a 15-day hunger strike with outside of City Hall, who still has to drive his cab 7 days a week. My brother, we are in City Hall now. This victory is for all of them, and it's for all of you. The more than 100,000 volunteers who built this campaign into an unstoppable force. Because of you, we will make this city one that working people can love and live in again. With every door knocked, every petition signature earned, and every hard-earned conversation, you eroded the cynicism that has come to define our politics. Now I know that I have asked for much from you over this last year. Time and again, you have answered my calls. But I have one final request. New York City, breathe this moment in. We have held our breath for longer than we know. We have held it in anticipation of defeat. Held it because the air has been knocked out of our lungs too many times to count. Held it because we cannot afford to exhale. Thanks to all of those who sacrificed so much, we are breathing in the air of a city that has been reborn. To my campaign team, who believed when no one else did, and who took an electoral project and turned it into so much more, I will never be able to express the depth of my gratitude. You can sleep now. To my parents, Mama and Baba, you have made me the man I am today. I am so proud to be your son. And to my incredible wife, Rama, Hayati, there is no one I would rather have by my side in this moment and in every moment. To every New Yorker, whether you voted for me, for one of my opponents, or felt too disappointed by politics to vote at all, thank you for the opportunity to prove myself worthy of your trust. I will wake each morning with a singular purpose: to make this city better for you than it was the day before. There are many who thought this day would never come, who feared that we would be condemned only to a future of less, with every election consigning us simply to more of the same. And there are others who see politics today as too cruel for the flame of hope to still burn. New York, we have answered those fears. Tonight we have spoken in a clear voice. Hope is alive. Hope is a decision that tens of thousands of New Yorkers made day after day, volunteer shift after volunteer shift, despite attack ad after attack ad. More than 1 million of us stood in our churches, in gymnasiums, in community centers, as we filled in the ledger of democracy. And while we cast our ballots alone, we chose hope together. Hope over tyranny. Hope over big money and small ideas. Hope over despair. We won because New Yorkers allowed themselves to hope that the impossible could be made possible. And we won because we insisted that no longer would politics be something that is done to us. Now it is something that we do. Standing before you, I think of the words of Jawaharlal Nehru. A moment comes but rarely in history when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends and when the soul of a nation long suppressed finds utterance. Tonight we have stepped out from the old into the new. So let us speak now with clarity and conviction that cannot be misunderstood about what this new age will deliver and for whom. This will be an age where New Yorkers expect from their leaders a bold vision of what we will achieve, rather than a list of excuses for what we are too timid to attempt. Central to that vision will be the most ambitious agenda to tackle the cost of living crisis that this city has seen since the days of Fiorella LaGuardia. An agenda that will freeze the rents for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants. Make buses fast and free, and deliver universal child care across our city. Years from now, may our only regret be that this day took so long to come. This new age will be one of relentless improvement. We will hire more teachers. We will cut waste from a bloated bureaucracy. We will work tirelessly to make lights shine again in the hallways of NYCHA developments where they have long flickered. Safety and justice will go hand in hand as we work with police officers to reduce crime and create a department of community safety that tackles the mental health crisis and homelessness crises head on. Excellence will become the expectation across government, not the exception. In this new age we make for ourselves, we will refuse to allow those who traffic in division and hate to pit us against one another. In this moment of political darkness, New York will be the light. Here, we believe in standing up for those we love. Whether you are an immigrant, a member of the trans community, one of the many black women that Donald Trump has fired from a federal job, a single mom still waiting for the cost of groceries to go down, or anyone else with their back against the wall, your struggle is ours too. And we will build a city hall that stands steadfast alongside Jewish New Yorkers and does not waver in the fight against the scourge of anti-Semitism, where the more than 1 million Muslims know that they belong. Not just in the 5 boroughs of this city, but in the halls of power. No more will New York be a city where you can traffic in Islamophobia and win an election. This new age will be defined by a competence and a compassion that have too long been placed at odds with one another. We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about. For years, those in City Hall have only helped those who can help them. But on January 1st, we will usher in a city government that helps everyone. Now, I know that many have heard our message only through the prism of misinformation. Tens of millions of dollars have been spent to redefine reality and to convince our neighbors that this new age is something that should frighten them. As has so often occurred, the billionaire class has sought to convince those making $30 an hour that their enemies are those earning $20 an hour. They want the people to fight amongst ourselves so that we remain distracted from the work of remaking a long broken system. We refuse to let them dictate the rules of the game anymore. They can play by the same rules as the rest of us. Together, we will usher in a generation of change. And if we embrace this brave new course, rather than fleeing from it, we can respond to oligarchy and authoritarianism with the strength it fears, not the appeasement it craves. After all, if anyone can show a nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him, it is the city that gave rise to him. And if there is any way to terrify a despot, it is by dismantling the very conditions that allowed him to accumulate power. This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one. So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants. We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed billionaires like Trump to evade taxation and exploit tax breaks. We will stand alongside unions and expand labor protections because we know, just as Donald Trump does, that when working people have ironclad rights, the bosses who seek to extort them become very small indeed. New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant. So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us. When we enter City Hall in 58 days, expectations will be high. We will meet them. A great New Yorker once said that while you campaign in poetry, you govern in prose. If that must be true, let the prose we write still rhyme, and let us build a shining city for all. And we must chart a new path, as bold as the one we have already traveled. After all, the conventional wisdom would tell you that I am far from the perfect candidate. I am young, despite my best efforts to grow older. I am Muslim. I am a democratic socialist. And most damning of all, I refuse to apologize for any of this. And yet, if tonight teaches us anything, it is that convention has held us back. We have bowed at the altar of caution, and we have paid a mighty price. Too many working people cannot recognize themselves in our party. And too many among us have turned to the right for answers to why they've been left behind. We will leave mediocrity in our past. No longer will we have to open a history book for proof that Democrats can dare to be great. Our greatness will be anything but abstract. It will be felt by every rent-stabilized tenant who wakes up on the first of every month, knowing the amount they're going to pay hasn't soared since the month before. It will be felt by each grandparent who can afford to stay in the home they have worked for, and whose grandchildren live nearby because the cost of childcare didn't send them to Long Island. It will be felt by the single mother who is safe on her commute and whose bus runs fast enough that she doesn't have to rush school drop-off to make it to work on time. And it will be felt when New Yorkers open their newspapers in the morning and read headlines of success, not scandal. Most of all, it will be felt by each New Yorker when the city they love finally loves them back. Together, New York, we're going to freeze the... Together, New York, we're going to make buses fast and... Together, New York, we're going to deliver universal... Let the words we've spoken together, the dreams we've dreamt together, become the agenda we deliver together. New York, this power, it's yours. This city belongs to you. Thank you.
We are closely watching California tonight, where polls in California remain open for just a few more
Okay, so let's talk about this speech.
hours. Voters in
Hold on
California
one
deciding
second. One second. Let's talk about that speech. They said that he was unapologetic. What in that speech did he need to apologize for? After that win, of course, I went over to Fox News, and they were so disappointed that all of the racism, all of the fear mongering, and all the Islamophobia that they had put out about this man did not work. One man said he was unapologetic when he said that he was a Muslim. Exactly why should he apologize for saying that he's a Muslim is what I wanted to know. He did he didn't he didn't push back on the what is it called, the I keep on wanting to say empanada, the infada. He didn't push back on that. Now, why should he push back on that? Why should he push back on that? They try to make you believe that that is a bad thing. And I had to Google this. I'm like, why do they continue to say that he should say apologize for this? Let me the infinita. Why should he have to apologize for this? And the word simply means a uprising. So why do they think that people should have to apologize for a uprising to be treated as citizens? They throw these words out here like they're supposed to scare their voters. He's a communist. He's a nasty communist, and you should be afraid of him. But let's get into the facts.
Widely known in the United States back in 1987 when a popular uprising broke.
Let me restart this.
Intifada is a word you hear a lot these days.
The intifada. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm like, what? Why do they keep saying that he hasn't apologized for the intifada remarks?
Days. Some people say that it's anti-Semitic and should be banned. So what does Intifada really mean? Intifada is basically an Arabic word that means uprising. It became widely known in the United States back in 1987 when a popular uprising broke out in the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem against Israeli occupation and repression. This was the first Intifada, which largely involved demonstrations, strikes, and boycotts, with kids throwing rocks at Israeli soldiers who often used live ammunition against unarmed civilians. Over 1,000 Palestinians were killed, a quarter of them children. The second Intifada erupted in September 2000 because of frustration at Israel's blocking of Palestinian statehood and the constant expansion of Jewish settlements in the occupied territories. This Intifada was a lot more violent on both sides. About 3,000 Palestinians and 1,000 Israelis were killed. So an Intifada, an uprising against oppression, can take many different forms. The word doesn't inherently mean kill the Jews or destroy Israel. And when people say globalize the Intifada, all they're doing is calling on people everywhere to take action to support the struggle for Palestinian freedom. Intifada is a word you hear a lot these days.
Okay, so they want everyone to clutch their pearls about the Intifada. And it simply means to rise up and respect the Palestinian statehood. But like as with anything, if you criticize anything that Israel does, they want to label you a anti-Semitic person. Uprising against oppression is what's the problem exactly. What's the problem? And they try to connect it with violence because they actually fought back when these settlers were actually coming in and taking over their land and settling in their land, colonizing their land. And they want the people, and the people are wrong when they rise up and complain about it. So they continue to use that word as if it's a weapon, as if it's a bad thing. So I just wanted to be clear. The next time you hear all of these buzzwords, all this is racism. You don't complain about what we're doing to you, and that is why I was really happy about his win, especially last night, because they said he was also unapologetic about something else. They just went into a whole diatribe why he should be ashamed of himself. They should be ashamed that they were supporting someone who was reportedly fondling on his coworkers. But they had no shame in that. They had no shame in supporting that person. And Chris Cuomo did a whole diatribe about why we should be afraid. The night before the election, Chris Cuomo was talking about, how bad things are getting. And, we should be afraid. And trying to still position himself as if he's a Democrat, kind of like Stephen A. Smith, doing all the doing all of the heavy lifting for the Republican parties, telling you what's wrong with the Democrat Party. But what I'm going to tell you right now, Zoran Mandami is everything that is right about the Democrat Party. Zoran Mandami, I played his commercial, his first ad, a couple of weeks ago. He started, most of the people in New York City didn't even know who he was. I heard about this, him blowing away the race later in his run. And most of the people didn't know who he was. And then he was standing on corners, standing in the subway, trying to pass out information, and people wouldn't even look at him and just keep on walking by. And that tells you what the power of people without money who stood up behind the message that something needed to be done for the everyday people. People are sick of these politicians being beholden to billionaires that stuff their fucking coffers. People are sick and tired of it. And while a lot of people do not participate, they only participate in their own suffering. A lot of people only participate in bullshit. A lot of people will not give $5 or $10 to a campaign about somebody who has a message to help you out of your situation. Hold on. Only to nobody. People don't understand that we make it so easy for these billionaires to continue to run this government, and they're running this government into the ground. They have absolutely no shame at this point because they know that you're not going to do what your ancestors did to get you in the position that you are now. And as they take it back away from you, you're not accustomed to not having what you were born into. But they're sure gonna make you accustomed. And I am so sick of people talking about how resilient Black people are, how we know the struggle, we know this. No, a lot of you don't know this. A lot of you have heard the stories. Hearing a story and living the story are two different things. So while people think that they can sit up and, oh, yeah, we know. No, you don't know. You don't know at all. But you're about to find out if you don't participate in your freaking government. You're going to find out. And while everybody can talk about it like it was like, oh, yeah, we got by. No, you didn't get by. Your ancestors got by. And how did they get by? And while they were getting by, they were fighting for a better life. They were participating for a better life for themselves. But if it was all honky dory, we'd still be doing the same thing. We still be in the same conditions that our ancestors were in, but our ancestors decided to get off of their ass and effect the change that they wanted. Now all of this is being clawed back. So this is why I wanted to play his speech, because at this point, what's going on in America is really disgusting. And we are financing our own destruction. We're financing our own destruction. Let me get into this uh, a little bit. Uh, Let me simplify it. Newsweek. This is March of this year. Walmart loses 22 billion as U.S. consumer confidence plummets. This is when the tariffs were put on everybody. In Walmart, the largest brick and mortar retail store was the one that suffered the most because they are the largest brick and mortar, not online, brick and mortar where you can walk into a retailer. And they already knew the handwriting was on the wall that everything that they sold was they were going up on their prices. They said by the end of the year, their prices will increase by 40% because they still had a warehouses full of stuff that they had already purchased from China, but they knew they were going to have to re-up before the end of the year. And they knew that they were not going to take the brunt of the tariff increases. They knew that the consumer was. So billions were wiped off of Walmart's valuation on Tuesday as data revealed a gloomy economic outlook among American consumers. Walmart shares price fell 3.1% by market close, resulting in its market capitalization falling by $21.89 billion on Thursday. This is in March. Okay, why it matters. With consumers already showing signs of reeling in their spending habits, as Walmart CEO has recently warned, the retail sector will be hit hard if confidence fails to recover and the country continues on its path toward an economic downturn. Given consumer spending is estimated to account for over two-thirds of the country's GDP. Sustained low confidence could itself increase the odds of a recession occurring in the near future. Now, this is in March. This is in March. They have been increasing your prices since the tariffs were put in. This is even before he announced the April 1st tariffs. They were already losing money because so many people had already lost their jobs. This is even before the tariffs were put in on April 1st, and the stock market fell, and people like Walmart were looking for losses. So Walmart's 22 billion loss was the largest valuation drop on Thursday, following by chip maker Nvidia, which is expected a 0.6% drop in its share prices, leading to a $17 billion decline in overall market cap. The retail giant's decline coincided with the Conference Board's monthly report on American consumer confidence, which revealed another concerning drop. The Consumer Confidence Index fell 92.9 points in March, retreating for a fourth consecutive month and reaching its lowest level since 2021. That was during the pandemic. Okay, the expectations index, a measure of consumers' near-term outlook for income, business, and labor market conditions, fell 65.2%, its lowest point in 12 years, and below the 80-point mark that the think tank said usually signals recessions ahead. But we just kept walking right into this, and 45, 47 just kept putting all of these tariffs and increasing these tariffs on people when and promising that you were going to get some jobs back. Now, they said that you were going to get jobs back, and now they have pushed it off. Well, maybe sometime next year you'll see relief. Yeah, you're going to feel pain right now, but sometime next year, or maybe even 2027, manufacturing jobs are going to come back, and you're going to be all hunky-dory on these manufacturing jobs. So let's understand that prior to anything that is going on with these SNAP benefits, with these food stamp benefits. You notice how they are trying to equate the government shutdown with food stamps all of a sudden now. Well, I talked about this on yesterday, but let's talk about Walmart since the food stamps benefits have shut down. Many of you may not know. All of this is connected, and the only people they care to protect are billionaires. And the only people they are hurting with these policies are billionaires. So of course, billionaires, if they hurting, do you think that they are going to let you feel all right? Walmart set to lose billions from SNAP benefits stopping in November. Let's read the story, because you do understand that most of these companies underpay their workers. The largest retailers, Walmart and Amazon, they horribly underpay their workers. They contract out jobs, so they are not responsible to making sure that you get health care by working your job. And unfortunately, most people get health care via their jobs. But see, these billionaires have figured out a way to not even give you health care. Well, we're not responsible for that. We contract that part of our business out. Yeah, so you won't be responsible for making sure American citizens have health care, and all of your earnings go to yourself and your shareholders. See, now you hear these Republicans poo-poo unions, and you see how Walmart and how Jeff Bezos at Amazon have done all of this union blocking things and fired people for even going to meetings to talk about forming unions and all of this stuff. See, a union is there to ensure your work conditions and your pay, and what they can and cannot fire you from. Your unions are there to safeguard your employment, and also bring up the your status of living. You bring up your pay. But see, you have these people who poo-poo unions, who will not even go to meetings, who operate out of fear instead of operating out of self-interest. So this is what you get. These Amazon drivers, they don't work for Amazon. They work for a contracted out company. They give them not enough money to live off of, and barely enough hours to ensure that they don't have to supply them with health care. And Amazon is talking about laying off over $600,000. They are already emptying out Amazon super centers where they do the work. They're already not like extending or renewing contracts with these companies that hire the Amazon driver. The layoffs are already starting. But they want you to believe that, well, oh no, we're going to replace everything with AI. They're not replacing everything with AI, because the drivers are getting laid off as well. So what I really want you to understand is, how many of you have stopped shopping at Amazon? How many of you have stopped shopping at Amazon? How many of you are letting Amazon know that it's okay that you are plan to lay off over 600,000 workers, and you're not losing money? You're not doing this to save the money. You have not lost any money. As a matter of fact, you're making more earnings than you have ever made. But it's necessary for you to fire 600,000 people, and you have a plan to make more money. I can understand if you had to cut back because things have changed and you're losing money, and you have to organize your workforce because you're losing money. But they're not losing money. And why they are not losing money is because people will continue to shop with them to their own detriment. And you think that I don't work for Amazon. Oh, you don't work for Amazon, and you don't think that it's gonna hurt you? We'll keep shopping with Amazon, because see, they know that people are lazy. They know that people don't like to be inconvenienced. They act as if they're offering you something you cannot get somewhere else. But you want to talk about we know what it's like to suffer. See, when people were suffering, having to sit on the back of the bus, they boycotted the buses. And what happened? The buses started losing money. And then the bus line thought that they could wait the people out. But who broke first? The people or the bus lines? That's all I'm saying. Okay, so let's get into the SNAP. Walmart pay a piddly wage. The wages and the hours that they give their employees have many of their employees actually using SNAP benefits. And where do these employees use the SNAP benefits at? They use them to buy groceries at the place where they work. So not only are they saving that way by not paying their workers enough, their workers are then giving them their government SNAP money, guaranteed money. Okay, let's see about these SNAP benefits and Walmart. Okay, Walmart could see a significant decline in consumer spending if the government suspends supplemental SNAP benefits as a result of the ongoing shutdown. According to a June report from the market research data firm Numerator, Walmart accounts for roughly a quarter of SNAP shoppers' total spending, giving the estimated $100 billion spent by the government on the program annually, roughly $8.3 billion monthly. This would imply a loss of about $2 billion for Walmart if the benefits are withheld for the entire month of November. So it takes $8.3 billion per month to give SNAP benefits. Now, the government has a emergency fund of $5 billion, and they said 4547 came out and said that he is only going to pay half of what it costs for November. So that would be $4 billion, 4.1 billion dollars, when he has $5 billion. So he's not even going to give you all of what you are owed for the month. He's not going to take the $5 billion and try to find $3 billion somewhere else. No, he's not going to do that. Then, when a court ordered him to pay November's SNAP benefits, he says he's not going to pay you any SNAP benefits after he was ordered by a court. But we had so many people who are uninvolved and talk about elections don't change anything. While he just gave Argentina $40 billion, talking about how bad they are suffering, they're dying, but he won't try to find $3 billion for the American citizens who are suffering and who will be dying. Okay, so what does Walmart have to do with it? Okay, why it matters. Now is the 27th day. The government shutdown began on October 1st over expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. Is now the second longest in history, and the first longest was under Trump's first term. Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security benefits are continuing despite the lapse in funding, but the suspension of SNAP payments is expected to significantly impact more than 40 million Americans who rely on the program. Now, also, you must understand that they are now coming out and trying to put SNAP benefits in the forefront of the reason why the government is shut down. SNAP benefits have nothing to do with why the government is shut down. They want to extend the Obamacare subsidies. That's why the government is shut down, to try to get you health care. And as 4547 comes out and says that, he's doing so much to help the Americans with their health care. He's fighting with insurance, with pharmaceuticals to bring down the price of medicine and all of this. That's the only thing that he can say. And he said that your medicine is going to go down 100, 200, 1,000%. So you know he's not doing anything, because if it goes down 1,000%, they're paying you for to take their medicine. Nothing can go down beyond 100%, and nothing is going down 100% or beyond 100%. This is what he's out here telling you that he is doing for you. And you do you ever wonder why they are focusing on SNAP benefits now, when SNAP benefits didn't have anything to do with the shutdown? Because they plan to further cut SNAP benefits. They're saying the Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins came out and said that they have kicked off over 700,000 people who were abusing SNAP benefits since this administration started, because it's so much waste, fraud, and abuse. So if you believe that they kicked off over 700,000 people, you will also believe that those were narco terrorists in the Caribbean doing drug runs. See, because you cannot take anything this administration tells you at face value, because they are just bold liars. So let's get back to the SNAP benefits and why it matters right now. Because what they are not talking about when they're talking about there's so much waste, fraud, and abuse in food stamps, they're not telling you that in that big, beautiful bill that they just passed, they took away $300 billion from the SNAP program. And now they're still trying to come to you brand new and telling you that there's waste, fraud, and abuse in this program from the remaining money that is left in this program. See there. So if they took away $300,000 from the SNAP program already in that fucking busted budget, how come? What was that called? We just want to hurt the poor people. No, they framed it under waste, fraud, and abuse. Now they're dipping and saying the remainder people who are going to receive SNAP benefits, they're going to wean out more money for waste, fraud, and abuse. So you guys don't pay it. If you don't pay attention, you don't understand that they are trying to get rid of SNAP benefits entirely. How you take $300 billion from a program and then still try to say that there's waste, fraud, and abuse for the few people who are still getting it? They say the average. This came from the Agriculture Secretary's own lips, that the average payment of food subsidies via SNAP is $187 per person. That's on average. Understand that some people are getting $24, $17, $16 a month for food subsidies via SNAP. On average, they're getting $187, and on average, the food has increased. And however, the SNAP benefits will never increase based upon the increase of food prices. That's written into their law. So let's see. Let me finish this Walmart. Why it matters. What to know. In a notice posted to its website, the USDA said that funding for SNAP will run out on November 1st, and that no benefits will be issued beginning on that day. Bottom line, the well has run dry, the department said, while blaming Senate Democrats for failing to reopen the government. Ismail Martinez, an economist with the Economic Policy Institute. Hold on. Where did that go? I don't understand. Let me see. I can't get it. Okay, there it is. Ismail Martinez, an economist with the Economic Policy Institute, told Newsweek that beyond the impacts on lower income families, a brief pause in the payments will lead to significant economic pain. SNAP benefits make up about 8% of all retail spending on groceries. Even a short interruption of this spending could lead to layoff or other painful adjustments in this sector, he said. Walmart alone accounts for almost one quarter of SNAP spending, about $25 billion, and SNAP spending accounts for more than 8% of their grocery sales. It's difficult to understate just how important SNAP benefits are to economically vulnerable families, children, and the broader economy. We should be doing everything we can to ensure families have this vital source of support as the threat of food and economic insecurities continue to rise. Numerator reports based on behavioral data from more than 31,000 verified recipients and surveys responses from more than 1,250 participants found that SNAP spending has increasingly been moving toward big box retailers. Walmart, who revenue rose 5% to $681 billion, is its most frequent fiscal year captures. Hold on, I'm sorry. Captures 24% of SNAP shoppers' spending, following by Kroger 8%, Costco 6%, Amazon 5%, and Walmart-owned Sam Clubs at 4%. Representatives for the grocery sector have warned about the potential fallout from benefits being halted. On Thursday, the National Grocery Association noted that SNAP is a powerful economic engine for communities big and small, and called on leaders in Congress from both sides of to find a funding solution that reopens the government as quickly as possible. Now, what people are saying, what I am saying is, if now you notice that the Republicans are coming to the table. Now, Mike Johnson told the Republican Congress to go home for its sixth consecutive week. But now, all of a sudden, the Congress people are talking about. They have been talking to Democrats, and they're trying to figure out a way to reopen the government, and not because you're starving, because Walmart is losing money. It's because Walmart and these big grocery store chains are losing money because they don't give a fuck about take the money and to put with it and do what the law requires. You know, that law that they took out of the USDA uh, handbook that says by law all food stamps must be distributed during a government shutdown, but they're trying to pretend like, oh, well, we can't do it because the government is shut down. Yeah, they conveniently took the wording of the law that President 4547 affirmed in his last long budget government shutdown, that they must distribute food stamps. So I'm just letting you know, in this era of uh, rich people take all, these people, I do believe, want a lot of Americans to die because they are. Hey, Z Sarah, it is good to see you. Thanks for your support. Yes, please comment on the video. Any interaction helps the algorithm. I understand that, I'm not giving much that affects you and and how you live your life, and I'm not talking about being a bitch who's begging for money on YouTube by trying to pretend like I'm some upper crust bitch. But if you comment on the video, it will help a lot. I appreciate it. Okay, so also, what I want to talk about is this right here. Trump's Gotti ballroom donors happen to have huge government contracts. Now, if you remember, 45, 47 had a big dinner party for the people who he would hope would help with his 300. It started at 200 million. It went up to 300 million. Then it went to uh, uh, it went from 200 million to 250 million to 300 million, and now it may be 350 million, because if you have him give a price on how much this ballroom is going to cost, it always increases from one day to the next. Now we find out that these people, he said he was going to pay for it himself, but then he start having these fundraisers for the ballroom. So they're not disclosing outright who donated what for this ballroom. But shouldn't you be concerned that he's getting all of these millions of dollars from these corporations from his ballroom? Shouldn't you be concerned about not knowing who's giving how much money to this ballroom, when we know that he's a quid pro quo type of president who has given pardons and all types of favor that only the president can give, and while keeping his donations secretive? So there's a report out that the ballroom donors happen to have huge government contracts, and some of them have a business before 45, 47. Kind of like CBS, who needed that the approval from this administration's FCC to do that merger. So they laid down in front of him and forbid 60 minutes to go in hard on him, and thus we got that bogus ass 60 minutes interview with him with Laurel. Not, what was her name? What is her name? O'Donnell. Lauren. What is her name? Something O'Donnell. What is her name? Laura Fest of a interview with him with no, well, she did push back a little, but she let the lies stand. So let's see who is donating to this ballroom. Uh, 4547 boasts that his White House ballroom is being funded by private donors and not taxpayers. But it turns out that the donors to the 300 million monstrosity have a lot of business with the government, ranging from federal contracts to investigations into their companies. The Washington Post reports that over half of the companies spending money on the project are dealing with federal law enforcement or actions, including unfair labor practices, environmental infractions, and deceiving consumers. This is who is financing this ballroom. And this is what these corporations: unfair labor practices, environmental infractions, and deceiving consumers. This is who is in bed with the president and paying millions of dollars while getting billions of your tax dollars, while cheating you, while poisoning the environment that we live in. That's a small price to pay to do all of this to the American citizens. A very small price to pay. Okay, if you didn't know, now you know. Okay, okay, where am I? The Washington Post reported that over half of the companies spending money on projects are dealing with federal law enforcement actions. Okay, these companies, which include NVIDIA, Google, Comcast, and Lockheed Martin, have received over 279 billion in government contracts over the past 5 years. So 300 million 300 million ballroom paid off by people who are getting 279 billion government contracts, you know, uh, I think that that's worth a trade off. If I wanted to continue to get billions, hundreds of billions in a contract from the government, a couple of few millions split among thieves, that's not too much to ask. The Post cited a report from consumer advocacy group Public Citizens for this story, which focused on the more than 3 dozen corporate and individual donors disclosed by the administration, as well as 3 more discoveries by CBS News. Many of the companies and individuals also donated to 45, 47 inauguration or other Republican projects. None of the companies have said how much they donated exactly, although Trump bragged at a White House dinner that some forked up as much as $25 million. The White House has claimed the White House claims of transparency are further contradicted by the fact that fundraisers for Trump have told prospective donors that they have the option to remain anonymous. The whole thing smacks of bribery and corruption, but that's never been a problem for Trump. He isn't likely to face any investigations or accountability over the donation. The public doesn't even know exactly the money how the money is being spent on the ballroom, but it is just receiving general figures. We only learned about what is happening based on the destruction we can see on the White House lawn. Now, let's be clear. Let's be really clear. They're giving a couple of $1 million, and we now. I didn't play this video. There was a video out that's saying there's no way on God Green's earth it would cost $300 million to build that monstrosity, based upon how much it costs to build ballrooms that can actually hold more people than him, that are done for under $100 million. So is he just taking money from these corporations and saying that it is for the ballroom, or is he just taking in all the money that he can get and having a ballroom to blame the money on that he could possibly even be pocketing? Okay, $25 million. Now, for $279 billion worth of contracts that are being put out, that he can give these people who's giving him this money $279 billion in government contracts. Who pays for those government contracts that are being paid to these corporations that are paying to play with this president? You, the taxpayer, pay for those $279 million. However, they're going to try to pretend like they can't find the extra $3 billion to keep food stamps going for the elderly, the poor, and children. But they can find $279 billion of your money to give to the rich who owns these corporations, to billionaires who own these corporations, who are harming your water and your air, making you sick, who are cheating you as a consumer. They can find the money for them. And Why are you thinking? Why are you thinking that you can get along. We used to struggling, and when you ain't used to struggling, you ain't used to struggling like they gonna have you struggling. Shall I say? You ain't used to struggling like your fucking ancestors struggled. Everybody want to act like they used to struggling. Do you understand that they're trying to take all the jobs? Now, there are some people out here that's saying, well, if they take all the jobs, they're going to have to, pay the people. Do you think they're going to pay your ass? Do you think these billionaires gonna take your jobs and then pay you a life wage or whatever they call it, and pay you a wage because there are no jobs to have? These are the people who taking the jobs. If they wanted you to have a job, they wouldn't have taken it in the first place. So you think that they gonna pay you for nothing when they got rid of your job so they wouldn't have to pay you? So now we are to believe that these billionaires, they just want AI. No, they just don't want to pay human beings that they think are beneath them. They can do without you. So you think they're going to pay you? Why do you think they're taking your health care away? And why are you this administration talking about their plan is negotiating with pharmaceuticals to lower the price of medication? Well, how the fuck are you going to even get a prescription for the medication if you don't have health care? Because the emergency room is not going to give you a prescription for what ails you. So that all of this, I mean absolutely nothing. Okay, so I just wanted to give you that information. Let me put this link in my description box as well. This is link number 2 in my description box because people think that everything is all groovy. This is link number 2. I'm just numbering these links as I show them. I didn't put the Walmart information in there. I apologize for that. Let me see. Mm. Let's talk about let's talk about the racism in this country. How make America great again. It is permeating all throughout this administration, all the way down to JD Vance, of course. JD Vance, who anyway, I just can't even go into the foolishness of JD Vance. But I just want to bring this to your attention, however. There is a report in, I think it's the New Republic, about JD Vance that you may want to pay attention to. Or JD Vance, sickening nostalgia for one of America's most hateful era. The vice president speaks fondly of the 1920s, a period when the Ku Klux Klan was resurgent in many groups of people, including Catholics, were deemed to be un-American invaders.